Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Bold and the Beautiful fans see some storylines going on right now that are sloppy, annoying, or both, and could have been done a lot better. Some of these storylines with Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, Hope, Logan, Annika, Noel, and several others are really annoying me. And I know a lot of fans are bothered as well. We're going to talk about 5 plots on B&B right now that are just not good. Not good soap stuff. Not at all. So, the first thing we got to talk about is this thing with Luna and Will Spencer Crew Morrow and the wire he's wearing. First of all, there's no way Chief Baker Dan Martin could have gotten a warrant for this kind of surveillance on the basis of Luna hating Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood. It's not against the law to hate your stepmother. It's just not, or a lot of people would be in jail. Plus, Luna's past murder conviction can't even be used as a basis for the warrant because she got a pardon. That wipes it clean. It's like gone. So, the wire was also large and unsubtle. They might as well have taped a boom mic on Will's chest with duct tape and shoved him in Luna's door. It just wasn't serious. Like, it could have been something tiny. It was ridiculous. I know on Friday's show, Luna figures out Will is wired. And you can buy a tiny mic on Amazon for like $30. So, Luna also said she's got a plan to take down Steffy. It's not very specific. It's not enough to get her arrested. Even if Luna said, "I'm thinking about getting a gun and killing her," you can't get like an attempted murder or premeditated murder conviction based on someone saying that they're thinking about doing something evil unless there's some evidence they've taken steps to make it happen. Not only is this badly done, but it's a redo of that plot they tried with Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, and Ridge Forrester, Torsten Kay, that blew up in their faces. It was bad then. It's no better now with Will and Luna. I honestly don't know why Brad Bell can't write better. He was raised and bred by soap writing royalty. His parents were amazing. Why can't he write better? He grew up at their knee while they were doing this. All right. The second thing is Brooke Logan's Catherine Kelly Lang insistence that what Ridge and Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig have isn't real. And she told Katie, Logan, Heather, Tom. Even Ridge and Taylor know that's not real. This dialogue makes Brooke sound like she's got amnesia. I don't know. I mean, come on. Ridge and Taylor have 3 kids. They were married twice before. One time it ended between Taylor and Ridge only because she had died, and he wound up with Brooke because Taylor was, supposedly gone for good. And then Taylor resurrected, and Ridge immediately renewed vows with her. I'm not saying Taylor wins in the end. What I'm saying is that either Brooke's got destiny blinders on or this dialogue that they've written is absolute dribble, because Brooke certainly knows better. Now, Katie gave her a reality check, but she's not telling her anything that Brooke doesn't know. So it's really annoying dialogue because that would not come out of a human woman's mouth who has been through what Brooke has been through and what she's observed with Taylor and Ridge. It's dribble. All right. The third poorly done storyline we've got right now is Liam supposedly dying. Bold and the Beautiful has been so sloppy with this. And in the same way that they were sloppy when Eric Forrester, John McCook, was supposedly dying, I still don't think they have used the word cancer about Liam and what's killing him, but they have talked about him getting an oncology consult, which means it is cancer. That's what oncologists do. We all know that, right? Also, they had Grace Buckingham, Cassandra Creech talking about the treatment option they had for him and how it could prolong his life, but it would take a toll. Liam was debating getting the treatment. He was talking to people about whether he should get it or not. And then they just totally dropped that thread. They never confirmed if Liam is getting the treatment, not in any of his conversations with Finn, Tanner, Novlin, or anybody. And I mean, they were talking about chemo, if I recall correctly, and Liam's got every single hair on his head. It would have all been fallen out if he had chemo. I've got people in my family that have had cancer, and I know what happens. You guys do too. And we're not seeing any side effects with Liam that Grace and Finn said would come if Liam pursued treatment. We've seen him with just like one, there's some pills, but they've never explained it. And he doesn't have any of the symptoms of getting cancer treatment. And Liam has still not told anybody else in his family he's dying. Not Bill, not his brothers Will and Wyatt, Spencer, Darren Brooks. And then they just push this urgently dying man onto the back burner. And I fully suspect he's going to get an 11th hour save like Eric did. Well, we know that Bridget Forrester Ashley Jones is back in July. And honestly, this feels like another exact plot redo. It's Liam instead of Eric. They didn't use the word cancer with Eric until way later. And then, of course, he got this miracle cure. So I will be stunned if it is anything but a redo of the Eric plot. So fourth, the next sloppy plot I got to mention is Nick Marone's Jack Wagner return for Brooke and the Taylor/Ridge engagement. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Jack Wagner, but this is a public relations mess because of conflicting interviews and B&B handing out contradictory talking points to the actor, and then the showrunner doing something else. Bold and the Beautiful brought back Nick, obviously looking for a ratings boost. They had Jack Wagner doing interviews about how even though this one is a short return, he may come back later, and that Brooke and Nick could have a real future. And Jack Wagner said he had even talked to Brad Bell about coming back again, and how this doesn't have to be the end of Nick and Brooke, even though he can't stay for that long because he's got to go film for her When Calls the Heart. And I'm sure Jack Wagner was saying exactly what he was told to say by B&B's PR team. But at the same time, Brad Bell was over there in Europe doing interviews with Italian press during that location shoot saying Ridge and Brooke are endgame, and he spoiled that something happens in Italy that convinces Ridge Brooke really is the woman he's meant to be with. Even if Brad Bell didn't think US fans would get hold of that Italian interview, which we did, I shared it with you guys. I'll put the video about it on the end cap so you can click and see it if you want. But he was still spoiling it all for the show's Italian fans. I mean, come on. Recasting Taylor, bringing her back, getting them engaged just to leave her in the dust of destiny. Makes no sense. And it's going to tick off a big chunk of the fan base. Ridge was first saying that he's got to keep his word. He wants to be a man of his word, not talking about love. And then, like 2 weeks later, I think because a lot of fan complaints, then Ridge is talking about how much he loves Taylor. He's head over heels. It's very inconsistent. It seemed obligatory. And then, all of a sudden, Ridge is all in his feels. Then he's going to go to Italy, fall or leap into the water based on a leak pic I showed you guys. And I don't know, half drown, hit his head, decide the destiny thing is real, dump Taylor, get with Brooke. We know Tridge is doomed thanks to Brad Bell's loose lips. So, it's all so messy. And speaking of messes, the last one I want to talk about is Carter Walton Lawrence St. Victor and Hope's Insta-love. Carter never even looked at Hope, and then they invented some big retroactive crush he had on her that apparently was already active when he was dating her Aunt Katie, and then Hope just all of a sudden falls in love with Carter super fast after she was head over heels for Thomas Forrester Matthew Atkinson for a long time, but never used the L word until the very end. And then Hope got angry at Carter, and then just forgave him super fast. Said yes to Carter's way too fast wedding proposal, and it's all very out of character for her. And all the claptrap that Hope said to Carter about how no man's ever made her feel this way is the exact same dialogue Hope said to Thomas. So was she lying to one or the other, or did they just forget they wrote this dialogue before? And now, Daphne Rose Muriel Hilaire is in the mess, because Hope has to be part of a triangle, and Hope clearly said she wanted to be with Liam, and he's the man for her. Carter overheard Hope say it, and then they abruptly changed direction, and Hope either forgot those lines or gaslit Carter in saying, "Oh, that's not what I meant." It's just extremely inconsistent writing mixed in with repeat plots from the past. And that's what makes Bold so frustrating. At this point, it feels like to me no cohesiveness in the writer room. Like, there's a staff writer doing Monday's script, a temp filling in doing Tuesday's script, Brad Bell drops by and half-asses Wednesday's script with regurgitated junk from the past. An intern in the sound department is told they can write the Thursday script, and Friday is just someone randomly throwing darts at plot ideas. It is a mess. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.